Good morning, students. Today we will continue our first chapter, and I think the video will be very short because we were about to finish this chapter before vacation. And I hope all of you have utilized your vacation, utilizing your vacation from very long. So we'll have online test also, and yes, you all of you have to prepare for board also, right? So please focus, please watch every video, try to complete all your copies, write down notes, everything, okay? Because this is not only about school exam or online test, all of you have to sit for board exam also, okay? So and your future depends upon your board exam, so please prepare well and please update your copies, books, everything in every subject, not only in political science but all the subjects. So and today we will continue this chapter, and I think the video will be very short because we have only one short topic left, and that topic is reorganization of state. Now what is reorganization of state? We first of all we have studied about partition, then we have studied about princely state, okay? Because this chapter is all about nation building, to build a united nation after independence. So first of all they had partition, India and Pakistan, Hindu country and a Muslim country. Now it's all about Hindu country, India. Then after partition there was a question of princely state, the state which has been governed by the prince. They also have to be included in India. So that was the case. We have already discussed Manipur, Hyderabad and all, okay? Now the reorganization of state. Reorganization of state means the internal boundaries. There should be a boundary, right, in each state which will distinguish themselves with the other state. You must have seen India's map, and you will find a few lines within that map, and that line distinguishes one state with the other. That is called reorganization of state, drawing a boundary. Now this was not an easy task to draw a boundary to internal boundaries, okay? The boundaries had to be drawn in a way so that the linguistic and cultural plurality of the country could be reflected without affecting the unity of the nation. So the boundaries have to be drawn without affecting the unity of the nation and on the basis of linguistic and cultural plurality, okay? So we all of you have known, right, West Bengal, Bengali speaking people are linguistic. Bengali speaking people lives in West Bengal. And Assamese people, they used to speak Assamese language. So on the basis of linguistic plurality means majority of people speaks Assamese in Assam, then obviously that part will be considered as Assamese state. So this was the problem during that time, reorganization of state, drawing a boundary, because before that there was no boundary. Before independence there was no such boundaries in India. Now there was a Nagpur session of Congress in 1920, and in that session it has been decided that the reorganization of the state or the drawing of the boundary will be postponed, because this was not an easy task. It's not easy to draw a boundary on the basis of linguistic and cultural plurality, right? There were different language speaking people. They used to have different culture, so it's not easy for the government. So they had decided to postpone this boundary, this drawing of the boundary. The need for the postponement was also felt because the fate of the princely state had not been decided. Also the memory of the partition was still fresh, because some of the princely state, their problem has not been decided, that has not been resolved during that period. And the problem of the partition, the memory of the partition was still fresh in the mind of the people. So the government has decided that this reorganization or this drawing of the boundary will be postponed for the time period. During that period, one case happened, and that was the protest began in Telugu speaking areas of the old Madras province, which included present day Tamil Nadu, parts of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and Karnataka. Now the Telugu speaking people, they revolted against the government. So initially they comes under Madras province. Now they wanted different state, they wanted their own state, because on the basis of linguistic, because they were Telugu speaking, Tamil speaking people. Okay, the Vishal Andhra movement demanded that the Telugu speaking areas should be separated from the Madras province of which they were part and be made into a separate Andhra province. They wanted to have Andhra government, Andhra Pradesh, as one separate state, because in Andhra Pradesh only the Telugu speaking people reside in that particular area. So they revolted. They wanted to become independent from Madras. They did not want it to be a part of Madras. Instead, they wanted a different state on the basis of language, the Telugu speaking people. So during that period, they were demanding Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is a state, right? So during that period, there was a politician called Potti Siramulu. He was a Congress leader at that time, and he also wanted Andhra Pradesh as a separate state. So he went to an indefinite fast that led to his death after 56 days. Potti Siramulu, he was a Congress leader. He went to indefinite strike, indefinite fast. He followed Gandhian path. Gandhiji always used to have indefinite fast. Similarly, this person also, he was a Congress leader, he also went to indefinite fast. He was demanding Andhra Pradesh as a separate state. But during that period, after 56 days of fast, he died. And because of that, this movement become very, very violent. People comes in the street. Each and every individual has participated in that revolt, and the government was forced during that period, and finally Prime Minister announced the formation of a separate Andhra state in December 1952. After the death of this Congress person, the government, people revolted, there was violence everywhere, so the government was forced to create Andhra Pradesh, and it was created in December 1952. This was the first state after independence. The boundary was drawn. Okay. The formation of the Andhra spurred the struggle for making other state on linguistic line in other parts of the country. Now, after the formation of Andhra Pradesh, when the state was formed as Andhra Pradesh, then the government decided that now we can draw a boundary on the basis of language. So, in order to draw a boundary, the government appointed State Reorganization Commission in 1953. Now this State Reorganization Commission will look into the matter for the boundaries. Okay, and this Reorganization Commission, this commission has created 14 state and 6 union territories, and all the boundaries has been based on the basis of linguistic, on the basis of language only. After the creation of Andhra Pradesh, government appointed State Reorganization Commission in 1953, and this State Reorganization Act has created 14 state and 6 union territories. Okay, now there was a question, right? If the boundaries has been drawn in within India, internal boundaries, then that might hamper the unity of nation. Government was afraid of that, but after the movement of Andhra Pradesh, and the movement has been based on language, so the government was forced to create Andhra Pradesh because of Telugu speaking people. And after that the commission was set up, and that commission has created another 14 state and 6 union territories. Then the government, they thought that this the drawing of the boundary on the basis of the language will not endanger the unity of the nation. So, and the government was in favor of linguistic state. Then now it is more than 50 years since the formation of the linguistic state. Still we have so many states, they are fighting for the separation on the basis of their language and the basis of the culture, because it has been written in our constitution. The state, the people of a particular area can demand a separate state on the basis of language. It has been written in the constitution. Because of that, you will find so many states or so many parts of a state, they were demanding or they were struggling for a separate state. And in order to give a separate state on the basis of language, this was seen as a democratic way. In a democracy only, people can demand separate state on the basis of language, and this will not endanger the unity of the nation. So this is reorganization of the state, and we have completed this chapter, the first chapter, challenges of nation building. So there were 3 challenges, right? First, nation building, second, democracy, and the third was the development. And we have discussed first challenge, nation building. And in that nation building, first of all, partition, India and Pakistan, then the princely state, and the third one was the reorganization of the state. Reorganization of the state means the problem of drawing a boundary, internal boundary within India. So this was the end of the chapter. All of you, I request all of you, please go through the chapter very carefully, and please do watch the video also. We are doing a lot of hard work for you, and we want you to watch the video. If you did not understand anything, please let us know, and keep in touch and be safe also. Okay, and we'll have online test, so please be prepared. I already gave you the topic, 3 chapters from world politics. Okay, and today we have completed the first chapter of Indian politics, and in our next class we'll start era of one party dominance, second chapter. Okay.